to provide real-time solutions to real-life challenges, and the Notore work culture provides me with the exclusive leadership that supports collaboration amongst team, strong teamwork, and reliability on team members. The respect within the team is top-notch, and we are garnished with integrity and excellence. We work hard, we play hard, and we win hard. That's the Notore culture.
I believe everybody needs to experience this Notore culture because it is one place you can actually put your skill to use without tension.
I love working in an environment that gives me the flexibility to provide real-time solutions to real-life challenges, and the Notore work culture provides
Tension.
I love working in an environment that gives me the flexibility to provide real-time solutions to real-life challenges, and the Notore work culture provides me with the exclusive leadership that supports collaboration amongst team, strong teamwork, and reliability on team members. The respect within the team is top-notch, and we are garnished with integrity and excellence. We work hard, we play hard, and we win hard. That's the Notore culture.
I believe everybody needs to experience this Notore culture because it is one place you can actually put your skill to use without tension.
I love working in an environment that gives me the flexibility to provide real-time solutions to real-life challenges, and the Notore work culture provides me with the exclusive leadership that supports collaboration amongst team, strong teamwork, and reliability on team members. The respect within the team is top-notch, and we are garnished with integrity and excellence. We work hard, we play hard, and we win hard. That's the Notore culture.
Statutory committee. Those Hausa guys.
When did you do this? From the century yesterday.
I believe everybody needs to experience this Notore culture because it is one place you can actually put your skill to use without tension.
I love working in an environment that gives me the flexibility to provide real-time solutions to real-life challenges. And the Notore work culture provides me with the exclusive leadership that supports collaboration amongst team, strong teamwork, and reliability on team members. The respect within the team is top-notch, and we are garnished with integrity and excellence. We work hard, we play hard, and we win hard. That's the Notore culture.
So, are you unmuting the chairman?
Ifeanyi, please unmute the chairman. Or I think he needs to unmute himself. He needs to say something so that... Okay, yes.
We can hear you loud and clear. Good morning, Chairman. Very well, sir.
Good morning, distinguished shareholders. I welcome you all to the 10th Annual General Meeting of our company, Notore Chemical Industries, PLC. May I call on Mrs. Adebisi Bakari to say the opening prayers.
Thank you. Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
We can hear you.
Please let us pray. In Jesus' name. King of glory, we thank you for the opportunity given to every one of us to gather together this morning for the progress of our company, Notore PLC. Accept our thanks in Jesus' mighty name. Almighty Father, we pray to you to continue to shower your wisdom, understanding, and blessing upon the entire world, management and staff of our company in Jesus' name. We pray to you, Almighty God, to continue to direct all our deliberations. Guide the chairman of the meeting of today, O Lord, so that at the end of the meeting, O Lord, all the glory will be yours and blessings be ours. In Jesus' mighty name I pray.
Amen.
Thank you, Mrs. Bakari. Notice of meeting. I would now like to call on the company secretary to read the notice convening the annual general meeting.
Thank you, MD. Good morning, distinguished shareholders, directors, regulators, and all stakeholders present at this 10th annual general meeting. Notice is hereby given that the 10th annual general meeting of Notore Chemicals Industry PLC will hold virtually via Notore Tenth Agm link on Thursday, 22nd August 2024 at 11 a.m. prompt to transact the following business. Ordinary business. A. To lay before members the audited financial statement of the company and of the group for the year ended 31st December 2023, together with the reports of the directors, auditors, and statutory audit committee thereon. B. To reappoint Mr. Deloitte and Touche as the company's external auditors. C. To authorize the directors of the company to fix the remuneration of the external auditors. D. To ratify the appointment of the following directors who were appointed after the last annual general meeting. 1. Mr. Thomas Etu, non-executive director. 2. Mr. Henry Imaseka, non-executive director. 3. Mr. Femi Edu, non-executive director. 4. Mrs. Vivian Shobo, non-executive director. 5. Mr. Danjuma Etu, executive director. 6. Mr. Theophilus Danjuma, non-executive director. 7. Mr. Nelson Atta, non-executive director. And 8. Mr. Ishaya Danjuma, a non-executive director. E. To re-elect the following directors who, in accordance with Section 285, subsection 2 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, are retiring by rotation, but are eligible and have offered themselves for re-election. 1. Mr. Sheyi Hamad. 2. Mr. Ovie Ukiri. 3. Mr. Bashir Lebada. 4. Mr. Yusuf Pam. F. To disclose the remuneration of managers in accordance with Section 257 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. G. To elect the shareholders' representative of the Statutory Audit Committee. Dated this 25th day of July 2024 by the order of the board, signed by Mrs. Otivo Saleh, the company secretary.
Thank you very much. Quorum. Kindly note that Article 8 of the company's Articles of Association and Section 256, subsection 2 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, 2020, provides that the presence in person or by proxy of 1/3 of the total number of members of the company or 25 members, whichever is less, shall form a quorum at a properly convened meeting. In determining the quorum, all proxies shall be counted. I now call on the company secretary to confirm the quorum.
From the information received from the Datamax Registrars Limited, I confirm that a quorum has been formed and this AGM is duly convened. A total number of 291 shareholders are present at this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Company Secretary. Further to the confirmation by the Company Secretary that a quorum has been formed, with the AGM duly convened and properly constituted, I hereby declare the meeting open and welcome you all once again to the annual general meeting of Notore Chemical Industries PLC. Given that the chairman is one of the newly appointed non-executive directors on the board of the company, we will be taking the resolution for the ratification of his appointment to the board as the first item on the agenda, such that he can rightly preside over today's meeting as the chairman.
On that note, my name is Mrs. Bakari Adebisi. I move a motion for ratification of the appointment of our chairman first. Thank you. I move for his ratification.
Thank you, Mrs. Bakari. Thank you, Mrs. Bakari. Can we get a seconder? Can I get someone to second the motion, please? Thank you very much. Before we vote on the motion, I would like Datamax registrars to present the instructional video on the use of the virtual AGM voting application.
Thank you, Managing Director. Distinguished shareholders, please note that we have captured valid voting details of a total of 212 shareholders by way of proxy, totaling 3,661,129,561 units of shares, representing a total of 91% of the company's issued shares. As you vote on the resolutions that will be announced by the MD, kindly note that the voting results will be inclusive of these pre-captured votes. We have put together a short video, which is a guide on how to vote using the app. Please watch.
Welcome to the Notore Chemicals Annual General Meeting 2024. To cast your votes, please ensure that your devices are internet enabled. When the voting process commences, the specific resolutions would appear on your screen with the voting options for, against, and abstain displayed. Kindly click on the option of your choice and submit. Please note that voting will be open for 1 minute only, and you are allowed to change your voting option before clicking on the submit button. Thank you.
Esteemed shareholders, to vote on the resolutions, kindly return to the application dashboard. Ensure that your device is internet enabled. Refresh your page or re-enter your login details if necessary. Specific resolutions will appear on your screen with the voting options for, against, or abstain. When a specific resolution appears, kindly click on any of the options in line with your decision. Click the submit button for your vote to be captured. Thank you. Thank you, Managing Director.
Thank you, shareholders. Just to reiterate, this is the first resolution. It is the ratification of Mr. Thomas Etu as the non-executive director and chairman of the board. Could all those in favor of the motion and those against the motion signify by voting accordingly on the online voting system?
Voting has now commenced. Please cast your vote in line with your voting decision. You have 60 seconds to vote on the resolution. We have 30 seconds to the end of voting. Please vote. We have 10 seconds left. The process has now been concluded. At the end of voting, we have 213 shareholders with 3.66 billion units of shares, representing 100% of the total votes cast in favor of the resolution. Thank you, MD.
Thank you. Following the results as provided by the registrar, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. I will now yield the floor to the chairman, Mr. Thomas Etu, to take over proceedings at this annual general meeting.
Thank you, Managing Director, Mr. Police. I would like to also use this opportunity to thank you all, our esteemed shareholders and my fellow directors for your trust, bestowed on me to steer the ship of this our great company. And I pledge to work together with the shareholders to representing the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, they are all in attendance virtually. I welcome and thank you all for being here today. Please be advised that this meeting is being streamlined, and there is also a link enabled shareholder to participate in today's meeting. For ease of today's proceeding, voting will be conducted online via the use of the DataPass online voting application provided by the Minister, and in accordance with Section 248 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020 as amended by Section 13, Part 1 of the Schedule to the Business Resolution, this Regulation Act 2020. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I believe you have all read the statement from the Board of Directors on page 12 to 18 of the 2023 annual report, and will not require that I read it now. However, should you wish that it be read, I will proceed to do so.
Taken as read.
Thank you. As we proceed with the meeting, any members who wish to speak on any of the items on the agenda should please indicate by raising his or her hand to facilitate the smooth conduct of the business of the day and remove each motion and invite seconders for each motion. The seconder are kindly requested to state their full names and enable the company secretary to take proper note of the names. Members are requested to timely indicate their votes via the virtual feature communication provided by DataPass register within the 60-second provided to allow for ease counting of the votes inclusive of the proxy form received. The following process will apply. 1. Members are to signify by voting accordingly using the online voting system provided. 2. The registrar are to announce the result of the voting cast. 3. Depending on the number of votes recorded and as announced by the registrar, I will declare that the motion has been duly carried or has not been carried. I will now proceed with business of the meeting as there are several matters on the agenda that require shareholders approval. Section 238 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020 provides that all businesses transacted at general meetings are in special business except declaring the dividend, presentation of the financial statement, and the report of directors and auditors, elections of directors in the place of those retired, the appointment and fixing of the remuneration of the auditors, appointment of members of the audit committee, and disclosure of the remuneration of managers of the company which are ordinary business. The fourth item for consideration at this meeting is the presentation of the audited financial statement of the company for the year ending 31st December 2023, together with the directors and the auditors' report thereon, copies of which has been previously circulated to shareholders. I now lay before you the annual financial statement of the company and of the group for the financial year ending 31st December 2023 in accordance with the provision of Section 388, subsection 1 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020 and the Company Articles of Association. In accordance with Section 388, subsection 2 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020, I hereby invite the representative of the external auditor of Deloitte and Touche, Chartered Accountant, Mrs. Chizoba Oyebuchi, to read the report of the external auditors.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Mr. Chairman, members of the Board of Directors, distinguished shareholders present, and all stakeholders represented at the annual general meeting. Mr. Chairman, may I crave your indulgence to read the key paragraphs of the audit opinion?
Please go ahead.
All right. Independent auditor's opinion to the shareholders of Notore Chemicals Industry PLC report on the audit of the consolidated and separate financial statements
Opinion. We have audited the consolidated and separate financial statements of Notore Chemicals Industries PLC and its subsidiaries set out on pages 5 to 71, which comprise the consolidated and separate statement of financial position as at 31st December 2023, the consolidated and separate statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, the consolidated and separate statements of changes in equity and cash flows for the year then ended, and notes to the consolidated and separate financial statements, including a summary of material accounting policy information. In our opinion, the consolidated and separate financial statements give a true and fair view of the consolidated and separate financial position of Notore Chemical Industries PLC and its subsidiaries as at 31st December 2023, and its consolidated and separate financial performance and consolidated and separate cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with international financial reporting standards, the requirements of the Companies and Allied Matters Act and the Financial Reporting Council Act 2023. Basis of opinion, we've conducted our audit in accordance with ISA, and our report is not modified. The other process to the paragraph for going concern, we draw attention to the consolidated and separate financial statements, which indicates that the group and the company incurred net loss of 114.3 billion and information for 2022 compared. The accumulated losses of 148.6 billion respectively. The group and the company also have net current liabilities of 130.1 billion compared to 2022 of 72.1 billion respectively. These events and conditions, along with other matters as set forth in Note 20, indicate that a material uncertainty exists that may cause significant doubt of the company and the group's ability to continue as a going concern. Our opinion is not defined in respect of this matter. That takes us to key audit matters. Key audit matters are those matters that, in our professional judgment, were of most significance in our audit of the consolidated and separate financial statements of the current year. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit, and informing our opinion thereon, we do not provide a corporate opinion on these matters. So the item in our key audit matter centers around valuation of investment property. And as stated in Note 7, to the consolidated and separate financial statement, the group and the company have investment property that they valued at 77.6 billion as at year end. So we have carried out our assessment of this property to be a key audit matter because the valuation requires high degree of management judgment and assumption in arriving at the fair value, hence subject to bias. This is considered as a key audit matter in the consolidated and separate financial statement. Based on the procedures that we performed, we found management's valuation of the investment property and the disclosure thereon to be reasonable. Having said this, then we will go to the last paragraph, which has to do with the reports on other legal and regulatory requirements. In accordance with the fifth schedule of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, we expressly state that 1. We have obtained all the information and the explanation which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. The group and the company have kept proper books of accounts so far as appears from our examination of those books. The group and the company's financial position and their statements of profit or loss and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of accounts and returns. Signed by Chizoba Oneguchi FCA, FRC 0869 for Deloitte and Touch Chartered Accountant, Lagos, Nigeria, on the 31st of March 2024. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I now invite Alhaji Camilo Haske, a member of the Statutory Audit Committee, to present the report of the Audit Committee for the year end 31st December 2023. On behalf of the Chairman of the Statutory Audit Committee, the report can be found on page 50 of the 2023 annual report.
The report of Audit Committee. In accordance with the provision of Section 404 subsection 7 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, the members of Audit Committee of Notore Chemical Industries PLC hereby report as follows. We have exercised our functions under Section 404 subsection 7 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, and we acknowledge the cooperation of management and staff in the conduct of these responsibilities. We confirm that the accounting and reporting policies of the group are consistent with the legal requirements and ethical practices. The internal audit programs are extensive and provide a satisfactory evaluation of the efficiency of the internal control systems. We have considered the independent auditors' post-audit reports and management responses thereon and are satisfied thereto. Signed by Mr. Ike Oshake, Chairman, 27 March 2024. The members of the Audit Committee are Mr. Ike Oshake, Chairman, Engineer Mike Orogbo, Non-Executive Director, Alhaji Ali Yusuf Ali, Shareholders Representative, Mr. Mubashir Abdulaziz, Shareholders Representative, Alhaji Camilo Haske, Shareholder Representative. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alhaji Haske. Thank you very much, Audit Committee. At this point, my fellow directors and I shall be pleased to answer any question we may have on the report and financial statement. May I request that if questions have been asked on the annual report and account, speakers should make appropriate reference to the relevant page to ensure that the right answers are provided. Speakers are also kindly requested to state their names to enable the company secretary to take proper notes. In addition, it will be helpful if members are brief and restrict their question or comment to one or two at a time to afford others the opportunity to speak. We will take note of all the questions and respond to them at the end of this question and answer session. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Chairman, good morning, sir. Good morning once again, Mr. Chairman. I thank God for your life. See your face after many years. So we are very happy having you back. I hope you can hear me, Chairman. Hello?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay, my chairman. My name is Mrs. Adebisi Bakari, the chairwoman of our company. I said we are very happy seeing your face after many years. So I'm very happy having you back. That was the smiley I was expecting. So when I didn't hear you, that shows you didn't hear me.
Thank you. Mrs. Bakari, nice to see you again.
Thank you, sir.
After very long years.
Exactly, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, good morning, Mr. Chairman, Board of Directors, distinguished shareholders joining online, and regulators, good morning all. I'm going to be very brief because I've earlier sent my questions through the company secretary to each chairman, and so that I won't take much of your time this morning. Firstly, Mr. Chairman, I would like to begin my comments by welcoming you. The new director. We have many new directors, so I welcome every one of them, ably led by you, Mr. Thomas Etsu. It is our sincere prayer that the coming on board of all the new directors will add value and turning around to the company a more profitable one. I believe their tenure will bring valuable contribution to the growth of our company also. I have only 2 questions. My first question is on page 12, under the chairman's statement. I would like to ask that, Mr. Chairman, how do the new board hope to address challenges facing the company, such as declining revenue generation, rising debt portfolio, and interest rates, which result into high finance costs, thereby impacting on our bottom line? We need to also address the unexpected disruption in gas supply, leading to the inability to generate projected revenue. Still on the same page, on the chairman's statement on page 12, I want to ask, sir, you mentioned that the capital injection is principally aimed at developing the future of Nigeria agriculture, safeguard against potential food shortages. So I want to ask that how hopeful are we in view of the high level of insecurities farmers are experiencing? Lastly, Mr. Chairman, I will go straight to pages 21 to 26 on the gender analysis of the board and management of the company. I observed that we have only 1 female board member out of 12 board members. I think for good corporate governance, there is a need for more female representation on the board and in the management. Once again, thank you very much to give opportunity to my colleagues. God bless you all.
Thank you, Mrs. Adebisi. Can we take further questions so that we can answer all together? Engineer, comrades.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, comrade Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Comrade Moses, go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, Chairman. First and foremost, I will join my colleague to welcome you and other director, especially my friend, Mrs. Vivian Shobo, that is with him. We have worked together, we are working together, so it's an asset which I believe that will contribute immensely. But before having said that, I'm going to first of all appreciate the managing director, the GMD, Mr. Luis, and his team for sustaining this business so far. Without them, this business would have gone down. But before you people came in, they have been doing that. So I will really sincerely appreciate them and all the workers. Then again, I will see also appreciate you people that are coming and are welcoming. And the reason why I'm saying so, when people were coming in, a lot of questions were asked. What is the position? What are the value you are bringing into beer in this business? And they gave us assurance that you people are Nigerians. You have been in the business and you are going to add value. That we have seen. You are welcome. But I have to bring some key issues to you people so that when you are planning, I know you are planning, you have it that the minority shareholder give you a mandate that you have to carry out for us. One, the issue of page 51 in terms of materiality or certainty related to going concern. You know, if this business has been the external auditor have brought this to bear in the annual report, taking the position. Then when you look at combine it with page 54 and 55, our basic loss per share and accumulated losses, you can see that we move from about 4.4 to about 70. That is huge. It is a great start that you people are coming to come and do here. So it's not an easy task. So I am taxing you, the board, the new board and the old management, the old board and the old management, that you have to do a lot. A lot is on your shoulder. Because this business we are talking about, Notore Tenth Agm, is a critical asset to this country, extending to what? West Africa, in terms of agricultural and food sustainability in this country and the whole of West Africa. And for that, if this business succeed, meaning that our agricultural business or state in this country will succeed. Hunger is in the land, so we are asking you people to deliver. And this requires what? Resources, your time, your energy, your brain, and whatever strategy you have to put in place to make sure that this business comes to bear. We can do it as Africa. We can do it as Nigeria. I am confident that you and the team that are there now, you can do it. Whatever it is that you must do, please do it. I will be proud of you. Nigeria will be proud of you. Aside of the money you are going to make, take that as a view that this business is a critical asset to this country. And for that, that is the only task I'm going to give you. We know the challenges that is facing the business in terms of what? Finance core. That is even funding. Now the funding is there. You must make sure you sign all the gas that you need. You must make sure you will develop it and make sure you sign concrete agreement with them. You have a lot of space in your on net. We have been there. You need to exploit all what you need to be done to make sure that this company succeed. We know you have you make an arrangement before now. You have an arrangement for rice production, which came some time ago. Because of fall, that thing did not work out. You need to go back to that place because the rice was superb. So these are things we will make sure your 8 subsidiary and functions, some of them gradually come to bear in order to add value to the business. That is all what the mandate I will ask you, the chairman, and the board that are coming, commitment, what you need to give to us as a commitment in order for us to rest assured that in 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, we are on the right track to deliver this company, to deliver the food sustainability of this Nigeria and West Africa. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Comrade Moses. Any other question? Yeah, Mr. Adio.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Adio.
My name is Adio. First and foremost, I want to follow the direction of the previous two speakers. To congratulate you, sir, and other directors that have been newly appointed into a company to bring the policy change that we all have been waiting for. While on that, I also want to appreciate the outgoing directors
we also serve diligently to keep the aim of this company alive. I want to wish them well in whatever endeavors they are into. Mr. Chairman, I'm going to the annual reports, and I'm also going to commend the effort of the board and the management in actually keeping the aim of this company alive, despite the challenges that we face during the course of the year under review. I know the issue of foreign exchange, the issue of gas, the disruption of the gas supply, and other things. We also commend the efforts we have made during the course of the year, the numerous achievements we achieved at our plants, our effort in getting certified with global standards, and the 2 licensing renewal for our free trade zone, among many other notable achievements. I want to appreciate that. I want to appreciate the effort of the GMP and the state member. But straight to my question, page 19, under this, where we have the statement of the managing the GMP. I want to add, because in this report, he made mention about 2 or 3 things that actually brought us to where we have to be. I mean, to the EGS that was recorded under the other. So I want to ask, what specific measures is the company taking to address the issue of exchange rate fluctuation and high cost of funds that have significantly impacted these financial results? I want to get specific measures that we are taking to actually rewrite the story of this company. I know with your coming in and other directors, I know things are actually going to take a new shape. So I want to know what we are actually doing to address that exchange rate fluctuation. It's not something that is going to go, but we also need to develop means of actually addressing. Then my second question again, I also want to ask, what we are doing about stable gas supply to prevent future disruption to our production capability. Given that the impact of that on the 2023 financial results. Then I also want to ask that, my last question, sir. On page 114, can you hear me, sir?
We can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Page 114, note 28, where you have this, there's this legal puzzle or whatever, and where we are legal liability of about 428 billion. So I want to know, because this has a great implication on coming out of where we are. So I want to know how we are addressing this issue. Are we engaging those that have this suit? I want to know what state we are in. Whether this 420 billion that is in will not bounce back against us. What plan, what insurance plan do we have in place so that if this is going to go the other way, which we don't pursue, what buffer do we have in place? So this is going to get us on our way. So, Mr. Chairman, I also, on that note, I want to say thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I want to commend the great effort of the concept players. They did a fantastic work because the shareholders have been informed of every progress being made by this company. I want to appreciate the registrar. The sending information to us time and time number. Even remind them about this meeting. I want to commend all the departments that have made this meeting to work this today. Mr. Chairman, I say thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ario. Okay, in the absence of any further question, we proceed to answer issues that have been raised. I will answer some, and I think the managing director is there to support and take answer some of the questions. Let me start with Mrs. Adebisi Mrs. Bakari at BBC, where she talks, asking us about the debt profile of the company and what are we doing on the gas, which some of the speakers also asked those questions. Some of the shareholders asked those questions. First, let me thank the former outgoing board members, some of them that have left this board, and also specifically thank the former chairman of the board, General Yakubu Gawan, the former managing director, GT Koloko, and also another chairman, Mr. Abaje, and the rest member of the board and management that have served this company, that have held forth before we came as the new investors. They have done their best, they've done a great job. We're still collaborating with them to steer the affairs of this company. On the issue of debt, we are been negotiating with the banks and some of the vendors to try and see how we restructure it and to bring it to a management level. And we want to assure shareholders we will do the best of our ability to resolve this issue and work it over the year to make sure that it's been settled. On the issue of gas, which is our feedstock, we've been engaging and trying to renegotiate our contracts and to get a stable supply, because without the gas, we cannot turn around this company. I want to assure shareholders, the board and the management were hands up in this, and at the appropriate time, we will keep feeding you back on the outcome. But I will assure you, I'm assuring you on behalf of the board and management that we're on top of that and we'll resolve and we'll get a concrete contract signed for our feedstock, the gas supply. And I come to Mr. Ario, I think MD will answer some of those issues. And Mrs. BBC raised about the issue of farming, the insecurity. As you follow the trend, the government are working hard to create security for farmers to go back to farm. Because if farmers are not back to farm, we will have a challenge. But government is doing its best to provide those securities for farmers to return to farm. And also to assure you, somebody raised the issue of foreign exchange. As we turn around the revamp of the maintenance of these plants and back to production, some of our products will go into export, and that will guarantee us some foreign exchange, which will help stabilizing our foreign exchange deficiency. And Mr. Ario, I think I've spoken about your gas and foreign exchange. I will seek the other issues to Mr. Ohis and any of the directors that we want to step in to answer this question. Mr. Ohis.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I think you have dealt with most of the issues. I will just touch on two that were mentioned. One from Mrs. Bakari on gender composition of the board. Mrs. Bakari, I think you would admit that we are moving in the right direction. Before now, we had no females on the board of Notore Chemical Industries. Today, we have one, and it was a deliberate decision to ensure that there was at least a female on the board. So we're moving in the right direction. Luckily and happily, Mrs. Vivian Shobo appears to be one that the shareholders already know from her previous career and her position in other boards. So thank you for that. The second question is with respect to the huge contingent liabilities from legal cases. I think it was Mr. Ario that asked that question. Let me state that it is prudent that whatever legal case you have, you must report, no matter how frivolous it is. Now, the directors are confident that there will be no significant loss as a result of these outstanding claims. Out of the total amount of about 428 billion, two suites account for about 422 billion, and they are both community related. One of them has been thrown out of lower courts. They have appealed, but I assure you that these claims are frivolous and unfounded. The other one is no different from the first. We do not expect that there will be any issues with any of the cases. So nothing to worry about with respect to those cases. Let me also just generally say that we're in a business that has huge potential. The problem that the company has faced has been one of capital structure and the debt equity balance, which was why we came to you a couple of years ago to say we wanted to raise equity, and you kindly approved it. We have crossed that first step. So we're now in the second phase of revamping the company. We have a very good asset, large expanse of land that we're not utilizing. We have a jetty, we have an existing plant, but the potential for growth and exploring and exploiting other business opportunities is huge. Lastly, I would just like to say, I think it was Mr. Ibrude that mentioned it. Thank you for the confidence that you have on the management. The board has decided that, has also showed that confidence and decided that, okay, they will keep the management, having fixed these capital structure issues. So for me, I think that the future is bright for Notore. Most of the hard work has been done. There's still quite a bit to do, but within the next year, I can assure you that your company, Notore Chemical Industries, will be a different company. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. MD. And thank you, shareholders. I think we have tried our best to provide some answers and guidance to what you have asked. Like I said to you, on behalf of the board and the management, we are committed to our shareholders and we are committed to turning this company around. It's not an easy task, but we are assuring you we will do that. And together, we will turn Notore to a brighter side, and we all smile by the grace of God. I wish to thank you all for the patience and repair. I thank the Group Managing Director for the detailed response provided. I hereby move that the company audited accounts and the financial statement for the year end 31st December 2023 and the report of directors, the auditors, and the audit committee here to laid before the meeting and be and hereby received. May I please have a seconder?
I move the deposit. Right to second the motion.
Thank you. Could all those in favor of the motion and those against the motion signify by voting accordingly on the online voting application?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Voting has now commenced. Esteemed shareholders, please cast your votes. Thirty seconds to the end of the process. The voting process has now been concluded. At the end of voting, we have 215 shareholders with 3.66 billion units of shares, representing 100% of the total votes cast in favor of the resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Registrar. Following the result as provided by the Registrar, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. Following the satisfactory service of the excellent auditor in the outgoing year, the company is desirous of reappointing Mr. Deloitte & Touch as excellent auditor to the company. Section 401, subsection 1 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020 provided that a retiring auditor, however appointed, shall be reappointed without any resolution being passed. Mr. Deloitte & Touch have indicated their willingness to continue as excellent auditor. Accordingly, I hereby declare that Deloitte & Touch is hereby reappointed as the company excellent auditor for the 2024 financial year. Section 408, subsection 1B of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020 provided that the remuneration of excellent auditor of the company shall be fixed by the company in general meeting or in such manner as the company in general meeting may determine. I hereby move the directors of the company be and hereby authorized to fix the remuneration of the excellent auditor for the financial year ended 31st December 2024 and in compliance with section 481B of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020. May I please have a seconder? Mr. Mudafiri Osman. Can we have Juliet Parker?
Thank you, my chairman. My name is Daka Juliet Eberechukwu. I second the motion. Thank you, sir.
Could all those in favor of the motion and those against the motion signify by voting accordingly on the online voting system?
Voting has now commenced. Please vote. We have 30 seconds to the end of the voting process. Please cast your votes. Voting is now over. At the end of this process, we have 216 shareholders with 3.66 billion unit of shares, representing 100% of the total votes cast in favor of the resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Register. Following the result as provided by the Register, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. Section 274 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020 provides that the Board of Directors may appoint new directors to fill any casual vacancy arising out of death, resignation, retirement, or removal, and where a casual vacancy is filled by the directors. The person may be approved by the General Meeting at the next annual General Meeting. 7 other directors were appointed to the board, and we will request that you rectify the appointment at this General Meeting. The names of the directors are as follows. 1. Mr. Harry Emasaka, Non-Executive Director. 2. Mr. Femi Edu, Non-Executive Director. 3. Mrs. Vivian Sobo, Non-Executive Director. 4. Mr. Benjuma Etu, Executive Director. 5. Mr. Theophilus Benjuma, Non-Executive Director. 6. Mr. Nelson Atta, Non-Executive Director. 7. Mr. Ishaya Benjuma, Non-Executive Director. In accordance with the provision of Section 287 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020, at the General Meeting of the company, other than a private company, a motion for the appointment of 2 or more persons as director of the company by a single resolution shall not be made unless resolution that it shall be made has first been agreed to by the meeting without any vote being given against it. That is, without any dissenting view. For the purpose of this section, a motion for approving a person appointment or for nominating a person for appointment is treated as a motion for his appointment. Given that we have a number of items on the agenda and to facilitate the timely conclusion of this meeting, I request your permission that the ratification of Mr. Harry Emasaka, Mr. Femi Edu, Mrs. Vivian Shobo, Mr. Benjuma Etu, Mr. Theophilus Benjuma, Mr. Nelson Atta, and Mr. Ishaya Benjuma be moved by a single resolution. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, once again, Mr. Chairman, my name is Ebere Chukwu. I stand to move that motion. In order to save time, Mr. Chairman, I, Mr. Bakari Adebisi, I hereby move the motion that ratification of the 7 directors should be taken as single resolution. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Bakari Adebisi. Mrs. Bakari Adebisi. Could all those in favor of this motion and those against the motion signify by voting accordingly on the online voting system?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Voting has commenced. Shareholders, please cast your votes. We have 30 seconds to the end of the voting. The process has now been concluded. At the end of voting, we have 216 shareholders with 3.66 billion units of shares, representing 100% of the total votes cast in favor of the resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Registrar. Following the result as provided by the Registrar, I have declared that the motion has been duly carried. In accordance with the provision of Section 2853 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020, unless it is expressly resolved not to fill such vacant office, the retiring director is, if offering himself for re-election, deemed to have been re-elected, the following director who have discharged their responsibility credibly are due to retire by rotation and
Mr. Chairman,
yes,
Mr. Chairman, thanks for taking you back. The resolution we done for ordinary business D is to for the ratification of all the directors and single resolution. The election proper now, sir.
Thank you,
sir.
thank you, Mrs. Devisi. Thank you. Having agreed by all members present that the ratification of the newly appointed directors be moved by a single resolution, can I get a shareholder to move for the ratification of the appointment of director listed above?
I so move, Mr. Chairman. My name is Bakari Adebisi. I second the motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Bakari. Please, may I please have a seconder?
I hereby second the motion. Ibu Moses, second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Moses. Could all those in favor of this motion and those against the motion signify by voting accordingly on the online voting system?
Voting has commenced. Esteemed shareholders, please vote on the resolution. We have 30 seconds to the end of the voting process. Please vote. Voting process is over. At the end of this vote, we have 215 shareholders with 3.66 billion units of shares, representing 100% of the total votes cast in favor of the resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Register. Following the result as provided, the Register, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. In accordance with the provision of Section 285, subsection 3 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020, unless it is expressly resolved not to fill such vacant office, the retiring director is, if offering himself for re-election, deemed to have been re-elected, the following directors who have discharged their responsibility credibly are due to retire by rotation and being eligible have offered themselves for re-election. Mr. Sheikh Hamud, Mr. Ovi Okiri, Mr. Bashir Nibada, and Mr. Yusuf Pam. In accordance with the provision of Section 287, subsection 1 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020, at the general meeting of the company other than a private company, a motion for the appointment of 2 or more persons as directors of a company by a single resolution shall not be made unless a resolution that it shall be so made is unanimously passed. That is without a single dissension. Consequently, I will move a motion for the reappointment of each director retiring by rotation. Mr. Sheikh Hamud, I hereby move that in accordance with the provision of Section 285, subsection 1 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020, Mr. Sheikh Hamud retiring at this annual general meeting by rotation and being eligible for re-election be and is hereby re-elected. May I please have a seconder? Mr. Peter? I second. Thank you. Could all those in favor of the motion and those against the motion signify by voting accordingly on the online voting system?
Voting has commenced. Shareholders, please cast your votes. We have 30 seconds to the end of the voting process. Please cast your votes. The process has now been concluded. At the end of voting, we have 214 shareholders with 3.66 billion units of shares, representing 100% of the total votes cast in favor of the resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Registrar. Following the result as provided, the Registrar, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. Mr. Ovi Okiri, I hereby move that in accordance with the provisions of Section 2851 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020, Mr. Ovi Okiri retiring at this annual general meeting by rotation and being eligible for re-election be and is hereby re-elected. May I please have a seconder? Mrs. Juliet Baker. Mrs. Juliet, you have muted yourself again. Mrs. Juliet, you muted yourself again.
All right, I can.
May I please have a seconder?
You do the Moses, seconder motion.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Moses. Could all those in favor of the motion and those against the motion signify by voting accordingly on the online voting system?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The voting process has now commenced. We have 30 seconds to the end of the voting process. The process has now been concluded. At the end of voting, we have 213 shareholders with 3.66 billion units of shares, representing 100% of the total votes cast in favor of the resolution, and one shareholder with 3 units of shares voting against the resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Registrar. Following the result as provided by the Registrar, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. Mr. Bashir Libada, I hereby move that in accordance with provision of Section 285 subsection 1 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020, Mr. Bashir Libada retiring at this annual general meeting by rotation and being eligible for re-election, be and is hereby re-elected. May I please have a seconder?
I so do, Mr. Chairman. My name is Mrs. Bakari Adebisi.
Thank you, Mrs. Bakari Adebisi.
Will all those in favor of the motion and those against the motion signify by voting accordingly on the online voting system?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The voting process has now started. Please cast your votes in line with your decision. We have 20 minutes to the end of the voting process. Please cast your votes. Voting process has now been concluded. At the end of this session, we have 213 shareholders with 3.66 billion units of shares, representing 100% of the total votes cast in favor of the resolution, and one shareholder with 10 units voting against the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Registrar. Following the result as provided to the Registrar, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. Mr. Yusuf Pam, I hereby move that in accordance with the provision of Section 285 subsection 1 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020, Mr. Yusuf Pam retiring at this annual general meeting by rotation and being eligible for re-election, be and is hereby re-elected. May I please have a seconder?
All right, Ibunde Moses, right to second that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Moses. Will all those in favor of the motion and those against the motion signify by voting accordingly on the online voting system?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The voting process has commenced. Shareholders, please cast your votes. We have 30 seconds to the end of the voting process. Please vote. The voting process has now been concluded. At the end of voting, we have 212 shareholders with 3.66 billion units of shares, representing 100% of the total votes cast in favor of the resolution, and one shareholder with 10 units of shares voting against the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Registrar. Following the results as provided the Registrar, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. In accordance with Section 238 and 257 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020, the company is required to disclose the remuneration of managers at the annual general meeting. I hereby draw the attention of shareholders to page 106 of the 2023 annual report, which contained a detailed report of the remuneration of the managers of the company, and I suggest that they be taken as read.
Yes, taken as read.
Thank you. Section 404, subsection 6 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020 require that the nomination to the Statutory Audit Committee shall be in writing and shall be delivered to the Company Secretary at least 21 days before the annual general meeting. The Act required that the membership of the Statutory Audit Committee should be a maximum of 5 members, consisting of 2 non-executive directors and 3 representatives of the shareholders of the company. The 5 nomination letters were received by the company secretary for election into the committee. However, only 3 were valid received in line with the provision of Section 404, subsection 6, leaving 3 nominees for election into the Statutory Audit Committee. The 3 valid nominees are as follows: Alhaji Ali Yusuf Ali, nominated by R & Partners Ventures Limited. 2, Mr. Mudashiru Abdulaziz, nominated by Haskamo & Sons Limited. Alhaji Kamil Muhaske, nominated by Aliuma Ventures and Investment Limited. Given that the requirement is for the appointment of the shareholder representative, and we have only 3 valid nominations, we therefore wish to present the above named nominee as the shareholder representative on the Statutory Audit Committee. I would also like to present the directors who have been nominated by the Board of Directors to serve as member of the Audit Committee for the financial year end 31st December 2024. The directors nominated by the Board of Directors are as follows: Mr. Harry Emasaka, Mr. Yusuf Pam. They will be joined by Alhaji Ali Yusuf Ali, Mr. Mudashiru Abdulaziz, and Alhaji Kamil Muhaske, being the shareholder representative to serve as the members of the Statutory Audit Committee of the company for the 2024 financial year until the next AGM. That concludes the ordinary business of the day. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this concludes business of this meeting. I thank you all for attending this meeting, which I now declare closed. I call on Alhaji Lai Kasim to give us the closing prayer. If Alhaji Lai is not around, can Alhaji Haske give us a closing prayer?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Amen. Can I call for us to rise for the national item?
Nigeria, we hail thee, our only native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians home and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland.
Thank you, our fellow shareholders. Thank you, and our esteemed shareholders. I pray I see you in the next AGM, and before that we are all in touch. And indulge your prayers.
Thank you, Chair. I believe everybody knows where the Western Sanitary Culture, because it is one place you can actually put your skill to use without tension.
I love working in an environment that gives me the flexibility to provide real-time solutions to real-life challenges, and the Notore work culture provides me with the exquisite leadership that supports collaboration amongst team, strong teamwork, and reliability on team members. The respect within the team is top-notch, and we are garnished with integrity and excellence. We work hard, we play hard, and we win hard. That's the Notore culture.